What if everything we know about history is not the full story? Across the world, ancient civilizations left behind monuments, artifacts, and stories so advanced that even modern science struggles to explain them. From gigantic stone blocks moved without machines to carvings that can only be seen from the sky, the evidence points to something beyond ordinary human ability. Could these have been the works of human genius alone? Or are they signs that we were once visited by beings from the stars? Tonight, we will explore 10 ancient signs that suggest aliens may have walked among us. From the deserts of Peru to the temples of India, from the pyramids of Egypt to the ruins of Pakistan. Each mystery raises questions that cannot be ignored. The Great Pyramids of Giza are perhaps the most famous symbol of the ancient world, and yet they remain one of its deepest mysteries. Constructed over 4,500 years ago, the pyramids were built with stones weighing as much as 80 tons each. Even today, with modern cranes and machinery, moving such blocks with precision will be a daunting task. Yet somehow, the ancient Egyptians achieved this feat. But the puzzle is not only in their construction, it is also in their design. The pyramids are aligned almost perfectly with the cardinal points of the compass. Even more striking, the three pyramids of Giza align with the stars of Orion's belt. This cosmic connection suggests that the builders possessed knowledge of astronomy far ahead of their time. Egyptian legends speak of gods who descended from the heavens to teach mankind wisdom. Were these gods truly deities? Or were they visitors from another world who guided the creation of these monuments? Across the ocean in Peru lies another mystery. The Nazca Lines, etched into the desert floor across more than 200 square miles. These enormous drawings can only be fully appreciated from the sky. They form images of animals, plants, geometric shapes, and even a strange figure known as the astronaut, with large, staring eyes. Why would the Nazca people create designs so vast that they could not see them from the ground? Some scholars argue they were ritual pathways or offerings to the gods. Others suggest something more extraordinary, that they were signals, markers, or even landing strips for beings who arrived from above. The straight lines that stretch across miles of uneven ground, too perfect to have been made without guidance, raise questions that remain unanswered. In the highlands of Bolivia stands Puma Punku, a site that defies both time and explanation. The stones here are unlike those found anywhere else in the ancient world, cut with such precision that they fit together like machine-made puzzle pieces. The blocks feature perfect angles and smooth drill holes. Yet, Puma Punku predates even the Incas, and its builders had no metal tools, no wheels, and no advanced machinery, at least according to mainstream history. Some of the stones weigh more than 100 tons, and no one knows how they were moved or shaped. Local legends speak of gods who came from the sky and taught humanity the secrets of construction. Could Puma Punku be the legacy of these sky gods, or even evidence of alien technology used in an age long before ours? The Sumerians of Mesopotamia, often called the first civilization, left behind more than just cities and inventions. They left behind stories, stories of beings they call the Anunnaki, which means those who came from the heavens. According to ancient texts, the Anunnaki descended to Earth and shared knowledge of writing, agriculture, and mathematics. Some records even describe how humans were created to serve these beings. On stone tablets, strange figures are depicted wearing what look like helmets, carrying tools, and standing beside objects that resemble rockets. Were these simply myths? Or were the Sumerians recording encounters with visitors from beyond our planet? If so, it would mean that the roots of human civilization were shaped not only by human effort, but by the influence of an otherworldly presence. On the banks of the Indus River, in present-day Pakistan, lies the city of Mohenjo-Daro. Once a thriving center of the Indus Valley civilization, it was a masterpiece of urban planning, with advanced drainage systems and orderly streets. Yet suddenly, the city collapsed, leaving behind only ruins and silence. Archaeologists discovered skeletons lining the streets as though the people had died instantly. Even more puzzling, some of these skeletons showed radiation levels higher than normal. Ancient Indian texts describe weapons of fire that could destroy entire cities in an instant. Could Mohenjo-Daro have been the site of an ancient nuclear catastrophe? And if so, who possessed such power thousands of years ago? Was it human hands, or something far more advanced? In Iraq, Another mystery emerged with the discovery of the Baghdad battery. At first glance, it appears to be nothing more than a clay jar, but inside it was a copper cylinder sealed with asphalt, which when filled with an acidic liquid can generate electricity. In other words, it was a working battery, created 2,000 years ago. But why would ancient people need electricity? Some suggest it was used for electroplating metals. Others believe it could have powered lamps or even primitive medical devices. But the deeper mystery is this: how did people so long ago discover electricity at all? Could this be knowledge left behind by extraterrestrial visitors, whose technology was borrowed briefly before being lost again? Far out in the Pacific lies Easter Island, home to the colossal Moai statues. Each of these stone figures can weigh over 80 tons, and they were somehow moved miles across rugged terrain. How the islanders achieved this remains a subject of debate. Some theories suggest they used ropes and manpower, but oral traditions tell another story, that the statues walked themselves into place. Could this be a metaphor for technology the people did not understand? Or were the Moai literally moved by forces beyond human capability? Their faces, forever gazing toward the horizon, give the impression of guardians waiting for something, or perhaps watching the skies for the return of those who inspired their creation. In India, ancient Sanskrit texts speak of flying machines called Vimanas. These chariots of the gods were described in detail, said to be powered by crystals and capable of moving in any direction. They were armed with weapons of fire, and in some accounts, they fought aerial battles that sound remarkably similar to modern descriptions of air combat. How could ancient writers imagine such machines in such detail? Were these purely myths, or were they records of technology witnessed firsthand? If the Vimanas were real, they may have been among the earliest descriptions of UFOs in human history. In Japan, thousands of years ago, the Jaman people created small clay figurines known as Dogu. These strange figures have large eyes, helmet-like heads, and what look like suits covered in intricate patterns. To modern eyes, they appear strikingly similar to astronauts in spacesuits. Why would a culture 14,000 years ago create such figures? Were they artistic expressions, religious icons, or something more? Could the Dogu be depictions of beings the Jaman people actually saw? Visitors wearing suits to survive in Earth's atmosphere? Finally, north of Mexico City lies the ancient city of Teotihuacan, dominated by the Pyramid of the Sun and the Pyramid of the Moon. The city was built on a perfect grid, aligned with the movements of the planets. Beneath its pyramids, archaeologists discovered tunnels filled with liquid mercury, an element that in ancient times was often associated with the gods. Why build a city aligned with the cosmos, and why fill its underground chambers with mercury? Was Teotihuacan designed for humans, or was it a blueprint modeled on something far greater? Perhaps a city inspired by beings from the stars? From Egypt to Peru, from India to Japan, the mysteries of the ancient world surround us. They challenge our understanding of history and force us to question what we think we know. Were these wonders the work of human determination alone? Or were they guided by visitors who came from beyond the skies? The evidence is compelling, the legends undeniable, and the questions haunting. And if aliens once walked the earth, perhaps the most forbidden question of all is this: what if they never left?